Okay, Nine Design. It's a little bit of conceptual design time here, and I'm kind of angling this as best I can in the continually refurbished design garage. I'm going to scribble up some ideas for sunglasses. Now, for the brief, you guys can be doing anything that's sun safe. I know that Ella's already started thinking about UV reflective jewelry, so you can go outside of sunglasses. But sunglasses are just something that's pretty cool that can be made using a range of the technologies we've got here, and the fact that Seaside Optical has given us a whole bunch of Sunny's lenses to use. So I'm going to go through the stages of drawing here and try and give you ideas to come up with. So anything can fit inside a box. So I'll start with my 3 lines and keep that as a rectangle shape. So I can reasonably quickly come up with something like that. I don't know how well this comes up. I'm probably going to have to darken this later. And I can just go through making cool shapes. So the lenses are going to be the same, but your frames can be all sorts of shapes, okay? And that's the main differentiating factor here with your design. So right now on this frame, it probably doesn't look like much right now. Okay, you can see I have done a heading, which does look kind of cool. But now I'll go through the stages and darken around my frame. I've got a bit of Silverchair rocking in the background as well, guys. And dark outline where the lenses are. So I've got something like that. Maybe to show that the lenses are there, I might darken those and make it look reflective. And if I want to make this concept stand out a little bit more, dark outline. So I'll get my whiteboard marker or Permo if you've got one at home. Yeah, a little bit like that. Okay. Now I'll just be adding a little bit of shade and detail into some of the changes of direction. Okay. And maybe refine some lines, put any little details you might be including on there. All right, not too bad. A dark outline, great. Now I haven't put the parts that connect to your ears yet. Right now these ones are kind of Morpheus style. So like with most concepts, if you put a shape behind it, it'll make your design stand out. So I'm just going to put a basic rectangle behind it. Okay. And then we want to go through, is it a yellow rectangle? You can't really see, highlight yellow. Let's put a little bit of a pen mark outside here. Okay. But now I want to make sure I add some annotations. Now, I'm going to go with red here. Let's assume this works, to point out some of the key features. All right, little dot and across, and I haven't quite figured out how that clip will work yet, but I'm going to identify some key things on my project, okay? Now, over here, down in the lower left, might be that it's a laser cut frame, okay? Laser cut 4 different layers of veneer and then laminated together. Over here, I'm going to mention the material that I'm using, okay? Which might be some maple veneer or something we've got sitting around. Lenses provided by Seaside Optical over there. The nose attachment here. So I'm adding my annotations so that we're getting the detail on here. Now, when you're coming up with your ideas, guys, you'll have a page full of concepts. So I'll just quickly whip up a page full of concepts, okay? Now, you might have some other ideas of weird, cool sunnies that you might have seen from some futuristic movies. And I want you to remember, whilst you can't see the page, I really want you to remember that no idea is a wrong idea in design if you can justify why, okay? So when it comes to innovation, if you can come up with something completely new and it catches on because it's cool, all right, you can end up making a lot of money, or you could change society. So I've just whipped up a couple of really funky looking shapes in pencil over here that I'll now go through and darken. So some of them I've been watching a lot of the X-Men movies lately with the family. So when we're trapped at home, we've got to do something cool. So going through watching series of all the cool movies or futuristic movies is really cool. And some of the visors and things we see in those movies make you, oh, I wonder if that could catch on. I'd really like to think of sunnies that don't pinch the nose, and maybe some way of improving how they connect to your ears. I think there's scope there to do better, okay? Now, this one here is a complete weird looking U shape or upside down U or V that goes to a point. Now, right now you might be going, who the hell would wear that? Okay, but there's no wrong answer. If someone starts wearing it, that might lead to someone else, and then another, and then another, and then another, and it could just grow exponentially. So there's nothing wrong with crazy ideas. So let's go through now, and yeah, you can probably see there's a little bit. I'll go around and put my dark outline on them. All right, and then I'd go through the same steps that I did with the other ideas. Okay, go and refine some of my key lines. All right, so they're nice and visible, and add some annotations. All right, so in these cases, the annotations might be how it's attaching to the ear, annotations about a different shape for the lenses, how it sits on the nose, why there's a certain point up at the top. Maybe we just want it to look futuristic. Okay, whatever your reasons are, hey, it's up to you. So just add my annotations in, and I'll finish up this concept soon. Yeah. All right, cool. So you'll notice this one stands out a lot more, probably because it's got a little bit of colour behind it. So I'll go and repeat that step of putting yellow or highlighted yellow triangle behind it, or rectangle, whatever shape I'm feeling like in the mood. Okay, and of course, no concept is complete without your designer name. So I'll just do my signature down the bottom here, and I'm going to fit that into a border or some form of border. All right, and just a scribbly border I often find actually looks cool, but I might add some little circles over there just for the sake of it. All right, I already whipped up the heading before that. You've got to have a good heading if you're selling a cool product. And I'll take a photo of this and I'll stick it on your classroom a little bit later so you can get a good idea. But I expect a little bit of that. Hope that was good for you guys. Any questions, pop them in the replies. And I'll speak to you and hopefully see you sometime soon. See y'all.